Previously on Balls.
Emily Sunday. She's big at the moment, apparently. And Clown. This gets us nicely into this past weekend's rugby. Talk about some of the refereeing that went on there. Before we get to that, I just see a post here from Huffington Post, who I follow on Twitter, going, so will Carrie Fisher return for Star Wars 7? I told you there was a Star Wars coming.
When did you tell us
I told you that the same
I spoke about it
day.
a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about it. Star Wars 7 is on the way. But not Carrie Fisher. Where are they going? How far after the Star Wars are they going? She's in a Zimmer frame or what? I don't know.
Yeah, she's quite old.
All right.
She's like Campo's age. She's 56.
Whoa!
Excuse me?
Yeah. Okay, well, that's Simon Hill there, Campo. He's,
How you going, Campo?
He's going.
How you going, guys?
Good. Time for David Campese in the Flush Out, proudly brought to you by Imperial Collection, home of signature brands. It's the importer and distributor of Bentley, Lamborghini and Lotus. Go to imperialcollection.co.za or drop by the dealership, corner of William Nicol and Bryanston Drive, if you're in the market or just want to go and have a look. It's worth it. Imperial Collection, home of the signature brands. Go and check out the videos of Sasha and Ian and Daisy, also the stuff they've done there with some of those signature brands. Very funny. They're on our website at balls.co.za. So, Mr. Campese.
Hello, mate. How are you?
All right, thank you. I see your Waratahs are whining about the referee. Bad losers.
Did you watch the game?
I think I was sandblasting the dog, so no, I missed it.
I must admit it wasn't great refereeing.
Well, so
I spoke to Nick Mallett. It's quite interesting because normally it's like this. They get a local referee who gets intimidated by the Blue Ball supporters, and anyway, so they get this guy and think and Nick Mallett sort of said, well, he said they'll look after his referee. Anyway, but he wasn't too bad, but he missed a lot though.
Yeah, well,
I'm not saying that he caused Waratahs to lose. The Waratahs made a lot of bad decisions, but referees don't really help, do they?
No, they don't. And the thing is, they're obviously trying to get themselves a new generation, a new blood, new referees into sort of this level. But it's almost like they've been left kind of caught short a bit, because some of them that are getting in there, these guys that are now refereeing Super Rugby, they just seem to be... they seem to be trying to play catch up or something. They're just they're slightly behind the game most of the time.
But I mean, it's hard. It's like if you haven't played the game, and all of a sudden you want a referee, but you've never played, and you've got to try and understand what the game is about.
Yeah.
And I was just actually watching it to my son Jason's the dentist, and I was watching the replay of the Munster versus Clermont game. Oh my goodness, how bad is that? Every player off his feet at the ruck, all come from the side, play on, no worries.
Yeah.
They just, the law, they've actually confused themselves, the IRB and the referees. They've got to make it where, just bring back rucking, mate, you wouldn't have a problem. You're not going to have like guys like Francis Stain cited because he hit the ruck late or this. You won't have that, because no one's going to put their hands in the ruck. I don't understand. If you have that ruck, bring back rucking back, mate, you wouldn't have any problem.
How will Australia ever play?
Because no one would be too scared to put their hands in.
How will Australia ever be competitive at rugby if rucking's allowed then?
Oh, give us a break, will you? Okay, who's leading the competition and who's got the second best score? The Brumbies have won, and I think Queensland's 2 by points. So, come on.
Well, there's only 2 teams in Australia, so it's not difficult.
It doesn't really matter. Hey, don't you win? You guys are still coming. What, you got, 28 points or something?
No, we're there, don't worry. We'll see when we get to the playoff. Well, lots of Nazi team win this competition. Okay, don't even go there.
You're lucky that you've got to have a team from each country up there. Otherwise, you guys wouldn't be in there.
Yeah.
Campo, you're obviously in studio with Nick, and I kind of had to agree with Nick's comments regarding the referee when he said, if they're going to give these guys a chance and they want to give them exposure, Super 15, Super Rugby is not really the place to do it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They should be giving them more, and at least another year or so at Currie Cup level before they, or something like that, before they just throw them into Super Rugby.
Well, look, it's as I said, I'd hate to be a referee because that's, the decisions, but it doesn't. But some of the decisions are crucial. I think, I don't know how many times we've spoken about this, about the referees. But the thing is, as I said on Boots and All last Thursday, there was someone tweeted me on my account and said, is rugby becoming like football, where the referees are being blamed for players and coaches' incompetency? And if you have a look at some of the laws of the game, the players are making some big blue-blues. They all know what the laws are. But then you see some law that you haven't seen for about 2 years come into play. And then you've got the ball put in the scrum. There's never a tight head because the guy can't reach in the second row.
Because it's put under the second row, exactly.
Well, exactly. And then the referee says, put it in play, will you? He said, yeah, 2 chances.
Yeah. It's I'm sorry, I'm trying to get rid of the visual of you being a referee, because I mean there would be penalties for guys if you didn't like the way they kicked the ball.
Play on advantage.
Oh, is it? I thought you penalise guys if they kick the ball badly.
Just back chatting to the referee.
That's it.
Yeah,
do as I say, not as I do.
Exactly, yeah. All right, so from this weekend's games, Cheetahs are in a very strong position. Remember, they got 2 buys, as JJ Engelbrecht told us a little earlier on. So they won their game.
But yeah, they must be kicking themselves that they didn't get a bonus point there.
Yeah, I mean, it's what held over the line a couple of times. But you know, the Kings are very spirited, aren't they? I think that they've done very well for their first year if you compared to, let's say, the Rebels when they sort of turned up. But you know, I like the way they play. I think they're fantastic. But I'm just worried about when it comes to the big games, you know, when they have to really perform. You know, you can't just willy-nilly throw the ball around. I know they got Willie LaRue there, and there was an interesting article in the paper yesterday that someone said he's a great player, but he'll never play for the Springboks.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, it's a shame because he's allowed to play what he wants to do, and the crowd get excited when he touches the ball. It's fantastic, but they are playing some good rugby. And I'm very, very happy that they are, because that's the kind of rugby I think that the South Africans should be trying to implement now is, you know, back yourselves and get some players in there who can actually, you know, keep the opposition guessing.
I'm actually surprised that they're saying he's too small. He doesn't weigh. He's not big enough for Heineke Meyer's Springboks. And then they're saying the team that Heineke's putting together, he likes the big sort of Jan Serfontein types at centre or the big wings, and he's too small. Yeah,
you got to understand it's great to be the modern rugby player. I think they're trying to find the perfect human specimen. You know, they've got the right muscles, the right places. They all look big and strong, but you've got to actually have knowledge of the game. You've got to understand the game, and the thing is, when you go up to another level, which is international, there's another jump, and some players can't make that.
Yeah.
You know, so again, he's the coach. He's got to pick the team that he wants, because if he doesn't, he gets sacked. So, you know, we can say what we like, can't we?
Yeah. All right, well, obviously it's Heineke's choice, so whether he's going to actually look at him at some stage or not, we don't know. But as I say, he reminds me of a Henny LaRue in his heyday. He really looks a similar kind of player where he can actually make decisions on the field.
Yeah, I actually think he'd be great to bring on 20 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Keep the opposition guessing. But again, it's not, you know, but that's just the way it is. It's, you know, it's quite interesting watching all the games on the weekends. Did you watch the Sharks?
Yeah, I did, sadly.
Unbelievable, hey? How can you be so far down and come back? And as I said after, why can't they play like this week in, week out? Why do they have to do it when they're behind?
Well, that's the Sharks, David. They don't do
come on.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's the way they've been. You know, they put it together against the Rebels, but I think you've got to take the opposition into account there. But the rest of them, they haven't looked great until they started coming back. It's almost so they were so far behind against the Chiefs that they decided nothing to lose, and they just let themselves go and actually played the kind of rugby we know they can play.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting to watch when they actually did. You know, Pat Lambie sort of took the ball to the line, made some good breaks. But again, the Chiefs' defence wasn't fantastic, but they needed to score when they wanted. Their line-out was fantastic in their scrum, but then they just let in simple little tries. You know, that wasn't great. But I still think there's a problem there with leadership. They've had 3 different captains this year.
Yeah.
And you can't do that. You can't keep on changing the captain. You need someone who's going to be there in the team the whole time. He's a good leader by off you go. You know, he plays well, and the rest follow.
Yeah. Well, we chatted to Ryan Kankowski a little earlier on. He says everything's cool, everything's fine, there's no ill feeling in the camp or anything. And I think he kind of summed it up. He said, yes, Plum and he had a heated argument, but as people that know and respect each other, so it happens, and everything's cool. He takes responsibility for getting himself fit, and he understands why he's not there.
Well, I heard the rumour around Durban is that they want him to be reserve lock, and they told him, no thanks.
Yeah.
I mean, he's won the world. I think he's a great number 8.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
But yet, they can't play him there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as I say, it was a mature argument and it was resolved amicably. So, all right. You want to go through the games coming up this week?
How did I go last week? I think I got a couple wrong.
No, you got Waratahs wrong because you went with the Tars.
Yeah, I mean, I
you
always
said
get that
Bulls
bloody wrong.
first, and then you went, and then you changed your mind. You should have. I think you would have had a full house if you hadn't changed your mind.
Yeah,
I think I got. I went for the Hurricanes. Did I go for the Hurricanes or the Storm?
I can't remember.
Oh, come on, guys! You should remember.
The Hurricanes. You went for the Stormers.
I went for the Storm. There we go.
No, you didn't. No, you
I
went
did,
for
I went for
Hurricanes.
Hurricanes.
You went for
Did you?
Hurricanes at home, yeah.
All right.
That's right.
I was almost home, you know.
2 wrong.
There we go.
All right, you've had better weeks, Mr. Campese. Let's see if you can lift your game here.
Well, sometimes I get them all wrong. So
Oh, you've had worse weeks
I didn't
too.
say you had worse weeks as well, but yeah, I'll say you've also had better weeks.
I think I might just put money on the referee. How's that?
That's a set.
Yeah.
Before I give you the games, how close was that Rebels Crusaders game? You think they're going to walk it, and then gee whiz, they almost lose.
I actually missed it because I was actually I left the hotel at 6. That's 6:15 in the morning. Get to the airport. I got to the airport. I watched a bit of the game. I couldn't really believe how bad the
Rebels were.
well, not the Crusaders. They're just a gone team, haven't they? They just think that it's easy, but it's not. The opposition just smashed them. They had no idea.
Yeah.
And I think that I actually I SMS'd John Mitchell, who was on the TV, and I said, "What's the score?" He said, Rebels 30-26, full time."
Yeah. I don't think the
close.
Crusaders are going to win it this year. They just don't look like they're...
But who ended up winning the game?
The Crusaders. They
Just.
snuck in, only just 30-26.
See,
Yeah.
I've got no idea.
No,
See.
Rebels actually snuck in front, and then the Crusaders
Yes,
won a
I
couple
saw
of
that,
penalties.
Then I was
Yeah.
on the plane, so I didn't see it.
Yeah, they're missing McCaw.
All right, we've got to move. Let's have a look at your fixtures for this week. What's happening?
Okay, first game, the Blues against the Stormers in Albany.
Oh, this is a tough one, eh?
Yeah.
It's going to be a defence against attack. I'll go to Stormers. I don't believe I am, but I am.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't laugh.
So just say for your Super Brew, go Rebels, go Blues then, I mean. Okay, the next game, Rebels Chiefs in Melbourne.
The Rebels Chiefs. Oh.
Melbourne.
I'll have to go to Chiefs.
Yeah.
Okay, Highlanders Sharks, Dunedin.
Do you think the Highlanders can win a game?
Nah.
No? Okay,
Well, if they're
I'll go
going
to
to, it's going to be against a side like the Sharks who played in the first 10
Sharks.
minutes. Yeah.
the Sharks.
All right.
Force Reds, Perth.
I have to go for the Reds.
Kings Tars, PE.
The Kings Tars.
Yeah.
The Kings Tars. Have to go for New South Wales.
Head and heart.
Guys, what do you want me to do? Do you want me
No.
to say, no, I have to go for all my old teams.
All right.
Okay,
It's
Bulls.
like Ash on the team. He goes for the Sharks.
The Sharks.
So I'm going to, whatever team he plays against Australia, he goes for a South African side. So I'm going to go for the Waratahs.
Okay, then the Bulls against the Hurricanes in Pretoria.
That's a good game. I don't think the Bulls are playing great rugby, are they?
Oh, they're
I
not
think
looking
they
too
really struggle
bad.
on the weekend.
Not really.
They're looking all right.
Tell me who the referee is, and I'll tell you who's going to win.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, you got to
The
go Bulls at home.
The
Hold
Hurricanes'
on.
defence is just as bad as the Bulls.
Yeah.
I'll go a draw.
A draw.
A draw.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
There's your full house for this week. And
And then the last game on Sunday morning, Brumbies against the Crusaders in Canberra.
Oh, I think the
Big
Brumbies are
game.
going to win. I think the Crusaders. Did Dan Carter played a bit, didn't he, on Saturday? On Sunday?
Yeah,
Oh,
he did.
yeah.
He did, yeah.
I think he adds a lot. I think this week will be a different team. But I think the Brumbies by 2 points.
all right, close one for the Brumbies. I think it's the game of the weekend, actually. Brumbies against Crusaders. Looking
Well, we
forward
said
to that
last
one.
week the Bulls and the Tars are going to be the game of the weekend, and it was rubbish.
Yeah, well,
I think that Blue Stormers game is going to be pretty good.
can't always
Yeah,
be
it would
right.
be good, yeah.
Yeah. All right, David, we're going to leave it there. Thanks a lot for joining us today. We'll see how your predictions go, and we'll chat to you again next Monday on the Flash Out again.
Fantastic, mate. It'd be great to speak to you all.
Have a good one.
You too, eh?
All right, cheers, Dave.
Just get by.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye. There we go. David Campese on the Flash Out, proudly brought to you by Imperial Collection, home of signature brands, the importer and distributor of Bentley, Lamborghini and Lotus. Go to imperialcollection.co.za or drop by the dealership, the corner of William Nicol and Bryanston Drive if you're in the market or just want to have a look at all their fantastic signature brands. Imperial Collection is the home of signature brands.
This is Balls Visual Radio. Darren, Simon, Kate, and John. Weekdays from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central African Time. Balls.co.za.